What do you say, guys? I just wanted to post this. Maybe one of y'all out there can benefit from it. This is my 5th motor I put in this thing in about 7 months. I've been buying used trucks, putting them in, find out they got bad timing over and over and over. So I learned how to do the timing, got the motor in there. There's one of the motors. There's the current motor. So the timing's good on that one, everything's good. I get the son of a bitch in and go to drive it off, and the son of a bitch won't even go in gear. It goes in, but it just like butter. No pressure at all. So I realized my torque converter wasn't seated properly. Actually, it was seated properly. It wasn't bolted up properly to those 4 nuts. This is a 5R55S, by the way, 04 Explorer. Yeah. So I get it off, and I just thought about maybe putting it back in after I tighten those 4 bolts. But good thing, because when I pulled the torque converter and finally got this pump out, the pump you up. Here's a torque converter. It's a new one. Now, I'm not a mechanic by any means, but I've been learning, because I got a whole damn room in here of nothing but Explorer parts. Hoods, you name it. It's all over here. I've bought 4 Explorers that didn't run because they had bad transmissions, so-called. Well, they had bad timing and said the transmission didn't work, so I couldn't drive them. It's a big scam they got going on anyway, or they'll pull the exhaust off so you can't hear the timing rattle. But anyway, I got screwed over on that, so be it's done, $500 a piece. So I'm at about $1,500 in about 3 months of my life, it seems like, but I'm just venting. This makes me feel good to talk about it. But all right, back to this transmission. So I got to looking, I pulled the pump out. This is the pump. These two go together. All right, so I'm looking, everything looks pretty good. There's an O-ring that goes right here, which is right here. They mate together. Okay, all this plate looks real good. But then I got to looking over here. Something just don't, one of these things is doing its own thing, kind of thing, like Sesame Street. That just don't look like that goes together, does it? Something just does not go right there. I don't think it's that piece. That piece is from some other part of the neighborhood, because it just doesn't mesh well. But then after further observation, Captain Jonah Lot looks right here. Look at the size of that little crack. Wow. So I fucked this up. Excuse my language. When I was trying to put this son of a bitch in, I remember hearing a real distinct crack, like a pop. Yeah. Well, that pop was this goddamn ring right here in this big bird that doesn't mesh with the others here. I'm not sure where that came from or where it goes or what it does, but I know he's on the wrong road. He needs to be somewhere else. But I'm assuming, see the brass is still in there, all that good shit. Shaft goes in, it's right here somewhere, right there. So I don't know. I'll have to take this little plate off and see what we got going on in here. Yeah, I might as well do it while you're with me. Let's see. So this comes up. I'm not going to take it very far. See if we have any scarage or any type of discoloration, they say. Let's see. Leave that right there. It goes back on like that. One of these things is doing its own thing. Let's see if we can find out where that piece goes, or where I fucked up. As we search through the neighborhood, I don't see, that don't look right. Well, yeah, it's made that way, I guess. Yeah. Do not see that piece. where it would even make its way out of here, really. Oh, no, it's smooth. It's just fluid. I don't know. Unless that son of a bitch goes there, how could that go there? It does not belong there. Maybe I gotta turn it over. Let's see. Put this back where I got it. Just like right there. Make sure everything lines up. I'm sure I'm going to take this off. It's probably not even any good. I'm just making sure I don't screw anything else up further. That's the thing. Let's see. No, that was the side I just took off with the nuts and bolts, or the Torx. I don't see. Maybe that piece goes there, and it's just like a damn one of those things that swish around. The I forget what they're called, like a slap washer or something. So watch this thing turn. It gets right there and it stops. You got nowhere to go. You really power through it and it turns and that can't go there. Can it? Maybe it does. Y'all probably watching this going, you dumbass, that piece goes there. It probably does. Maybe it's just chipped on the end right there. That sounds like more like it, doesn't it? Or no? That piece is sharp. See that? But that piece is cracked, sure enough. Maybe I'm an idiot. Or maybe I should try to take this out. Let's see. How do you get it out? Probably just turn it on its side, but I'm starving for a hand here. Come on. One-handed ain't gonna happen. Maybe so. Got your ass. Sir, Crack-A-Lot Dance, the ultimate freak. Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun-dun. Son of a bitch. I wonder if I could weld that and it would last. Do all this work and just put a bullshit weld on it and put it back in there? Yeah, right. Looks like it's cracked all the way. Yeah, all the way through. Y'all see, there you go. She done. The thing that's crazy is the fucking, the damn, when I put the motor back in and bolted it all up and everything, I never even moved. I never went anywhere. So that piece belongs in there. God darn it. Never went anywhere. So how could I have tore anything up? I wonder if it's a keyway or something. Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, my suggestion is to you guys, I know you're probably sitting here listening to this bullshit, but I hope this helps somebody just by seeing this. I mean, you know, things you want to see it. You don't want to hear it, you want to see it. When you make this, when you put your torque converter in, make sure you hear your two clunks as you're turning it to the right and pushing in, steady pressure. And make sure that nose is not sticking out past your bell housing. Because I believe that was my fuck up. And when I finally got those hard ass bolts in that are tightened, those right there that are gonna suck everything together, the motor to the bell housing, you got to be dead on it. You got to be square. You got to be level. You don't want to be your motor hanging up and then you just getting the bolt started and try to suck it up. Then your transmission raises up as it's going in, it cockeyed, and then you're cranking on it. You could barely get a quarter turn each time, and next thing you know, you got a damn mess on your hands. Your torque converter done come out of seat, and you're cranking it up thinking you're about to be in business, and you just went backwards. And then you hear that, pa! That little crackaja. And you know it right then, but you try to ignore it. Well, I ignored it for about 3 full days of working on this son of a bitch, and then tried to move it, and it bit me right in the ass. So once you hear the crack, you might as well stop. Ain't no sense in continuing. Just because you want to get it going, but it's a bunch of work for nothing. And if anybody's ever fucked with these motors, you know how tough they are. I have learned the hard way. But I can tell you where every freaking bolt, nut, and everything else goes, how to time it. While I take a shit, I'll time this son of a bitch. Now, when it comes to the transmission, not so keen. But I know that what I need is over there on the table, broken, I suppose. I don't know how else I can tell if it was working good or not, but I just know those 4 nuts weren't tight. That could have been my problem altogether, totally, but by seeing that crack there, that tells me that if it wasn't failed right then, it was going to, and then I was going to be stranded with a bad transmission. Good thing it never went nowhere. I just didn't have no pressure. It wouldn't do nothing. So I got the pan down. I got all that cleaned. If I'm just jibber jabbering, just X out and don't even damn listen to me no more. But I'd like for you to like and subscribe, and maybe this video will find it handy to you. But here's the gasket, got the oil pan, or the trans pan cleaned. There's that great design with the Torx 27 on the other side. There's your magnet. All right, there's my old transmission fluid, red as hell because it never got moved or used, because it just sat there. So I got the electric pump coming, so I can feed that little bitty hose right up in that little bitty hole, and probably end up busting something, but it's coming, so it'll be here soon. So we're gonna get her done. There's the motor. It looks like shit, but oh, that's another thing. I put this motor in, and you better make sure you get your injectors. Make sure your injectors are seated really good in this fuel rail. Make sure you got them in the seats below, because this one right here was leaking. Every time you turn the key on, gas pours down into those cylinders. Well, those cylinders don't like to be full of gas, so when that piston tries to compress, it's creating a damn explosion. Good thing it leaked out mostly and come down here and caught fire. Yeah, it caught fire when it hit that exhaust manifold. And my fucking shit got on fire. I tell you, this truck has got my ass. So I put the fire out, and I had to do some things, but I got very lucky that I didn't go up in flames. But I saw the flames underneath the truck. But yeah, it did nothing but singe a little singeing Smith, and we singed away. It started, and that's when I heard old torque converter making a bunch of noise. Sounded like a bunch of 8th grade bolts inside of a tin can when you turn it off, like it's continuing to circle like in your dryer, old school dryer drum. Yep. And then it stops. But it runs good, it just doesn't go nowhere. Too bad we're not in the business of just sounding good, sitting still. I'd have a hell of a ride on my hands. Anyway, I won't bore you now. It's 15 minutes of jibber jabber, but I know I helped somebody out there, and That's what it's all about. It's helping one another. And, you know, if you don't find any use for this, maybe the next person would, but like and subscribe. If not, go kick rocks. You know, I could give two shits, but it is what it is. And I hope y'all have a great evening, and let's get 2024 on track to make something out of this place, because right now we're fucked. This country is going to shit, and it's going to shit quick. And it's time to get these explorers back on the road. That's right. 4.0, timing, cassettes, you'll love them. You're not going to fix them unless you pull that motor. And the transmission pump is the number one cause after a motor install of failure. You may not move your vehicle 1 inch when you have a bad pump. And that bad pump will be caused by your bad labor and your installation or non-knowledgeable. I learned the hard way. I hope this helps you. Peace in the Middle East, and always remember, E93, baby.